job. I think your smile on your face says 1,000 words. Happy days, LV Cup winners, a great day for the Exeter Chiefs.
I said to a lot of people already, you know, what really pleases me is the players actually getting a tangible reward for all the hard work they put in, because they've worked extremely hard this season, and it hasn't always felt like we've had a reward for the hard work we've put in. You know, we've had some tough results against some very good sides in the Heineken Cup and in some tough Premiership fixtures, you know, and late losses and little things not going our way, one-score games. And what happens today, you know, the last 2 weeks we've come through a couple of tight games, and now we're LV Cup trophy winners, which is great. And as much as we're going to enjoy now and enjoy the moment, what we have to concentrate on is where we go from here, and making sure that, you know, just as this seems to be a trophy that's won by some of the top teams in the country, that it's part of a move for us moving forward and driving us on, and it's not something we just sit back on now for 3 weeks and go, oh, we won the LV Cup, because we've got to go to Leicester next Sunday. And as much as I want to talk about today, you know, I'm already thinking, right, we're actually going to have to get our heads down pretty quickly and get ready for Leicester, because, you know, the one mistake you don't want to make is go feeling too good about yourself to Leicester, because when it comes to the Premiership, they're the ideal boys to bring you down to earth. So we're not in for a couple of days. We're going to give the guys a couple of days off now. Put a lot of physical effort into the last couple of weeks, trained very hard, taken a fair bit of criticism and stick to try and move on and make us a better team. And you know, the upside so far has been that they've got their heads down, they've worked extremely hard, and we've won a couple of important games. 23
guys will be remembered for their performance, but overall, Rob, 44 players have played their part.
Yeah, and I think in some ways that's probably the nicest thing about this Cup. I mean, I know there are bigger finals, you know, the Premiership finals, the Euro final, you know, there are bigger finals, of course there are. But kind of what is nice about this one is you do almost have to play it with your squad. I think we used 44 players, so that makes it something special, and it makes something the whole squad can take part in. And to use all those guys all the way to the final, and I know the last couple of rounds you kind of go strong because you get into important semi-finals and finals, but it does show that you've got to win a number of games with your strength of your squad, and then you finish it off at the right time of year, which is the time of year when players want to be playing in big games. You know, this is when the Six Nations is being played. This is when Cup finals start to roll around. This is when the deciding games to get you in the top 6 or the top 4 of the Premiership happen. So, you know, I'm just really pleased with the mental strength of the team to really wanting to be going for it this time of year, because down the line, if you want to be a good side, this is when you have to be good.
You and I went to Twickenham several times and tasted defeat with the Chiefs and that, but to do it on home soil, was that extra special, do you know?
Yeah, I think it has made it extra special. I mean, we've got to be aware it was a huge advantage. I mean, the way the supporters were today was a huge advantage to us. You can't say it wasn't, because it was. And just as today was a nice reward for the players for the hard work they put in, it's also been a nice reward for the supporters, for, you know, because, you know, geez, they've travelled some miles supporting us this year, you know, and they've been fantastic home and away, and they're just as disappointed when we lose a close one as we are, you know, and they want to see the players walking off with smiles on their faces and feeling good about themselves, just like I do. And I think, you know, to be able to join in a celebration where you see a group of players walking around really happy, actually got a reward for their endeavours, and be able to share that with the crowd and so many of our supporters, it's just been fantastic here today. The atmosphere has been amazing.
The last few years have been lots of chapters and lots of little steps, but where does this rank in terms of the progression of the club now?
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet, do we? Because ultimately, until we see where we go over the rest of this season or where we go next season, we don't really know. What we've got to make sure is that it isn't a one-off, and it is part of a progression. But that's kind of my job. So, you know, like I say, once we've enjoyed tonight, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how we make sure it's a move forward, and it's not something that goes down in history and was great for the day. You know, because that's the key. We've got to make sure it's not just about today.
Brilliant.